Stephanie Gadbois, Managing Director of Big Picture Conferences.
And Big Picture Conferences has just hosted the Western Canadian Lodging Conference, WCLC for short.
Yes.
So how are you feeling at the end of the conference?
I feel great. Honestly, I'm happy it's done, but I think we had a really successful conference. Our numbers were great. The content that was shared, I think everybody enjoyed it. We had a fabulous closing fireside chat, so I feel really good about it.
And you're an event manager extraordinaire, so what is it like for you when you put together an event like this with all these moving parts and you see people face to face, so happy to be networking and doing business? Is that like the ultimate?
I always think it's so exciting because this particular group loves to network and they only get to see each other a couple of times a year in person. So every time they see each other, I feel like no time has passed at all. So it's almost too bad that we have to tear them away from the networking for the content. But at the same time, I think we sort of blend both worlds really well. We give a lot of time for them to socialize, network, and go through the exhibits. And then at the same time, we pack in as much content as we can.
And I think one of the really beautiful elements of Big Picture Conferences is that, we've talked about it at times, it's not about the breakout room. The networking is the breakout room. It's about seeing the content that you're most interested in, but seeing the people that you need to do business with.
Exactly. A couple of years ago, right out of COVID, when people didn't really want to mobilize quite as much, we decided no more breakout rooms. One, in conferences and for planners like me, we know that delegates don't ever love a breakout room. You usually lose about half your audience as soon as you have them go to a breakout. No matter if it's a great breakout or not, you just lose them. So we said, let's not do that anymore. Let's give more networking time because that's what they're really here for. And let's embrace the content that we are going to put together, but in plenary fashion, so we don't split them apart. And honestly, for the last 2 years, we've been doing it this way, and I think it's working.
I would agree. I mean, it's really exciting to see business that takes place at these events. But like you alluded to, it's really nice to see the friendships that exist. And, I think it's a small, big industry.
Yes.
Everybody knows everyone, and everyone's business has some indirect or direct effect on one another.
That's right, and as sort of we see conference to conference, even people may jump companies and sort of skip around, they always still stay in hospitality, and it's like they pick off right where they left off, even if they're not with the same brand or company anymore. It's just all the same. They go out for dinner after the conferences are done. There's always the industry parties that happen post-conference. And it's a big reunion every single time. So now we know, okay, we've got a few more months down the road till we hit 2024 until we get to do it again.
And you're very much behind the scenes, but you manage to produce these incredible events. And you have a legacy in hospitality as well. So your family is in hospitality.
Yes.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
So my dad started with Hilton Hotels as a bellman, I believe, way back in the 70s, and has stayed in hospitality and hotels ever since. Growing up, we moved around quite a bit while he was with Hilton, and essentially he's still in the industry, still working today, now with Olympic Hotels. And I don't know, it's just always been an interesting journey on the hotel side, and it's made somebody like me very snobby with my hotels because that's how we were raised a little bit. But I love it. I love seeing his world from a different perspective, which I never saw when I was just at home. These conferences really open your eyes about how you value a property and all of the different pieces that go into buying and selling these things, where just from the everyday outsider, you would never think about that. You would never think that you need a broker to buy or sell a hotel. That's just not where most people think about. So that's always been exciting. And I have a sister who's in hospitality as well, and she works on the travel side of things. And so it's interesting. We're all indirectly still in hospitality, even long after my dad will retire.
Has it changed the family dinner conversations?
Sometimes every Sunday we have family dinners, and it's either myself or my sister, and we always talk to my dad about something industry related. Lately it's been me more than she. But it's always interesting to get his perspective. And on his panel today, honestly, it was so nice to see him. I hadn't run a conference with him speaking before. So it was so really nice to have him here today.
Yeah, and you're in a different hat when you're seeing your dad up on stage. So
yeah, so it was great.
Well, it was a fabulous event. What's next?
We have Hotel Capital Connection February 1st. So that is a half-day conference for all things legal and lending. Then after that, April 8th and 9th, we have CHIC, so the Canadian Hotel Investment Conference. That is really our golden jewel. We'll see about 500 people in Toronto. It's at the Western Harbour Castle. And it's just a bigger version of what we've seen here today, where we focus Canada-wide, where for the Western Conference, we really focus on the West. So that's the next big one. And then we're running the Hotel Association of Canada's conference in May. It will be a brand new reimagined 2-day event in Montreal. And that's really a conference we're putting together for the association that's going to gear everything on the operations side. So general managers, HR, sales. And there'll be some owners forums and things going in collaboration, but we're really trying to give that conference a brand new identity. So hence a 2-day, and hence not in Toronto, Montreal. And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.